Hi everyone, so here is my quiz review for quiz 3. I've decided to do my very first question on quiz 3 because this is a question that has been on previous quizzes and I have yet to get the question completely right. So hopefully if anybody is watching this and you got this question or you got the max points for this question, you can kind of help me out with how you came to your conclusions, to your answers, and things like that. So the first question is, of course, which of the following are critical steps in ethical decision making? Please select all that apply. Now, how I came up with my answers um, as I looked in the textbook, I do have the 6th edition, and I looked to chapter 1, and on page 18 of the 6th edition, down at the bottom, it says to review, a reasonable ethical decision involves the following. And there are like 6 defined points. So these points are understanding the facts, identifying the ethical issues involved, identifying all stakeholders, understanding how those stakeholders will be affected, employing moral imagination to understand alternatives, considering how others will judge your decision, and making a decision and monitoring and learning from the results. So this is where I went to in order to answer this question. I don't know if that's necessarily the correct place, considering the fact that I have yet to get this question right. But that's where I look to. So for this question, I believe I put the answers: identifying all the potential dilemmas implicated, predicting possible outcomes, determining other possible options, objectively grasping all the relevant facts, appreciating the stakes, knowing what people and entities might be affected, and weighing potential detriment to the decision maker. Um, so these are the answers that I chose, and I got a 1.5 out of 2, which is not bad, I guess. But I still did not get all of the maximum points. So, again, if I look back in the book, the first option or the first bullet point was understanding the facts. So that's why I chose objectively grasping all the relevant facts. Identifying the ethical issues involved. I looked to identifying all the potential dilemmas implicated. Identifying all stakeholders. I don't really see. Let's see. Um, it doesn't really specify identifying all stakeholders in any of these answer choices. I guess weighing potential detriment to the decision maker. The decision maker by far can be possibly a stakeholder. But I think I chose appreciating the stakes to follow up with that bullet point in the book. Understanding how those stakeholders will be affected. I chose knowing what people and entities might be affected. I guess that can kind of go along or correlate with identifying all stakeholders. Understanding alternatives, determining other possible options. That's what I chose to follow that one. Considering how others will judge your decisions. Predicting possible outcomes. Anticipating public reaction. Now, I can kind of see how that correlated with considering how others will judge your decision, but I believe I chose this answer choice on a previous quiz, and I don't think that was necessarily the right one. But again, this is one question that I'm honestly not sure on. So if anyone can help, I would greatly appreciate that. And then making a decision and monitoring and learning from the results. Again, that's with appreciating the stakes. and weighing in potential detriment. So that's why I chose the answer choices that I picked. Anticipating public reaction I could see how that can kind of fit in to the steps of ethical decision making, responsible ethical decision making, the critical steps. I just didn't choose that. Now, maybe if um, all answer choices should have been applied, I could have gotten all possible points. Again, I'm not sure. So if anyone can help me out with this question, I would greatly appreciate it. All right, thanks.